A very warm welcome to you. Many thanks for finding time to join us on the program this week. Now, don't forget to remain your source for all the latest happenings in the world of insurance. My name is Lucy Lugbe. Welcome to the show. On our lineup this week, first we join Faith and our guests, Mr. Steve Ajudwa, General Manager, Business Development, African Alliance Insurance PLC, and Mr. Marcel Okore, Head Individual Life, also of African Alliance, on CEO Rendezvous, where they discuss life insurance during a pandemic, the task before insurers. Speaking during the interview, Mr. Ajudwa said that any company with 5 employees that doesn't have group life insurance is already breaching the law as provided in the Pension Reform Act. Take a listen.
Group life insurance is compulsory.
Yes.
For every employer of labor that has up to 5 employees. So any company that is not already having that policy is breaching the law.
On this edition also, we will bring you highlights from Naicom seminar for insurance and financial journalists in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. The annual seminar provides a robust platform for interaction between the Commission and members of the press. The theme of the seminar was Digital Transformation of the Commission and Market Development Initiatives. Disclosing some of the ongoing projects at the Commission, the Commissioner and Chief Executive Officer of Naicom, Mr. O.S. Thomas, said that the solution to low insurance penetration in Nigeria lies in the enforcement of compulsory insurances. To take a listen.
I believe that the penetration that we have been talking about over the years have a solution in the compulsory covers, that is the low-hanging fruits.
Plus, of course, all the other extras will bring you each week on the program. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the lineup. Details in just a moment. Please stay with us.
Hi, girls.
Hey. Hello, Shiva.
Come right in. We've been waiting. It's amazing in here, Martha. You've done so much for yourself.
Thank you so much, Shiva.
Did she tell you she'll be getting her doctorate degree in a couple of weeks?
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations, girl. Thank you. So, to more successes, girls.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow, it's amazing what you and your brothers have achieved in the past 15 years, despite mom and dad being absent. All 4 of you are so stable, and you've achieved so much.
Thank you so much, girls. Life may have dealt us an unexpected blow early in our lives, but Dad and Mom set us on a safe path to where we are today. They secured our future with life insurance from African Alliance Insurance PLC. We are not alone. All our life moments are kept on check with AAI.
Wow,
Yeah.
This sounds so good, Amaka. Please, show us how.
Of course.
Get life insurance from African Alliance Insurance PLC. There's a plan to suit you and your family's needs.
A very warm welcome to you. It's a pleasure to have you join us on the Rendezvous this week. Together, we'll be looking at the topic life insurance during a pandemic, the task before insurers. And to do justice to this topic, we've gathered 2 eminent personalities. First, will I say opposite me, is Mr. Marcel Okore, who is Head Individual Life of African Alliance. Thank you so very much for joining us on the program. And to my immediate left, I have Mr. Steve Ajudwa, who is the General Manager, Business Development, also of African Alliance. Thank you so very much, gentlemen.
Thank you very much
on the program. Okay, the COVID-19 has once again brought to the fore the importance of life insurance, as we saw during the peak of the crisis. We saw governments at all levels, federal, state governments, procuring life insurance for especially those in the healthcare system. But the question is, why was it that it's a crisis situation that propelled government at all levels to begin to look at the importance of life insurance for their workforce?
Well, thank you very much. I would like to start first of all by saying that Actually, government have been looking towards the corridor of life insurance, but I think COVID became an enabler. There was something that was posted during that period that life insurance happened to be like the new sheriff in town. You understand? Because COVID was like a criminal that just came out in that period, and they needed to be a new sheriff that was going to address the malice of COVID. And life insurance became very appropriate at that particular time. It became a circuit breaker, so that like some of the people that were losing their lives, the financial compensation that was being paid to their family enabled life, you understand, to continue. And I think it's a good one for government because it also showcased that insurance as one of the instruments in the financial sector came out to respond quickly and adequately at that particular point in time. So I think it's a kudos for the insurance industry. But what I want to say is that the insurance industry should take this period to take it to the next level. We shouldn't just wait for government at every point in time to be the one that will trigger the benefit of insurance and life insurance. So I want to say thank you to the government, and also it's a wake-up call for not only the government but the private sector to also take this, so that I'll take it to the next level. Thank you.
Okay, Marcel, I don't know if you have something to chip into that.
Okay. Basically, I mean, Steve basically has said most of the things that are quite relevant to this. So COVID came up and it opened people's eyes to different things, both the public sector and the private sector. And what's on the street right now is that people value like their life insurance policies better than they did a few months ago. And it's quite important because there's nothing that stops us from keep providing value for people that we love. So it's very important that the people look at their family differently. But it's also unfortunate that it had to be COVID that made people see things this way. And it's what it is, really. Things do happen, and this happened this way.
Okay, now I also know that in the thick of the pandemic, we also saw healthcare workers themselves demanding their employers to provide them with life insurance. And the question that easily comes to mind is, if you know that your life is of value to you, so to speak, why do you wait until there's a crisis before you demand your employer to provide that kind of service for you?
There is a very big lesson for everyone in that event. We can't expect someone else to place value on our lives. We should value our lives more than any other person would value our lives. So at that point in time, as much as we live in a society where we take things as they come, we take things a day at a time, it's also important that we do the right things at the right time. And life insurance is very, very key. So it's sad anyway. If you ask me, it's sad, but we just need to place a whole lot more value on our lives and take action to protecting it.
Okay, Mr. Jadua, we know that a lot of focus was on government providing life insurance for their workers. Now let's come to the private sector. We also know that in the course of the pandemic, we've heard organizations who are not even players within the health sector, all of a sudden coming to the realization that, oh, we need to procure life insurance for our workforce. So my question is, why does it seem like it's this COVID that is making people to suddenly remember or realize that life insurance is important and is existing in Nigeria?
First of all, there's one thing we need to realize. Even group life insurance is compulsory.
Yes.
For every employer of labor that has up to 5 employees. So any company that is not already having that policy is breaching the law. And recently, the DG of Naicom made a statement that companies that have not insured their staff, they should be reported to the commission, because what they are doing is they are denying the right of their workers. So we don't need a COVID-1 or COVID-2 to come to tell us our responsibilities. So for every private sector, one thing they need to realize is the right of their employees, and they need to give them those rights. Let me also say one of the things that probably why people were not taking insurance before. Maybe it's also the service, because insurance, as it were, a lot of people think that insurance, when it comes to claim settlement, because that's really one of the issues. When you talk to people, they say, well, you guys don't pay claim. When they say you guys don't pay claim, not that they are referring to one particular company, they are grouping everyone. So I think for on our own side too, I think the more we pay claim, then the people will be able to buy the product. You know, it will be on autopilot. They will know that really that life insurance is a game changer for everyone, because really, the past 2-3 weeks, there were many fire breaks and so many lives were lost. And when these things happen, there's nobody that has 1 trillion naira or dollar put somewhere that you use to set back your life or to indemnify those that have died. But insurance, as it were, is a circuit breaker that is always there, so that when the ships are down, there's always something that comes up to indemnify and make sure that life continues. So I think it's good for everyone to take up life insurance. It should be like pay as you go. It's not too expensive. It's one of the cheapest financial instrument you can buy. So I think I want to welcome everyone. Why don't you join this train of life insurance?
Okay, now I just want to throw this open between the two of you. Okay. It does appear that the problem really when it comes to life insurance, it's not that people are not aware. Because if it's that, during the thick or the peak of the crisis, you won't find health workers now demanding as a precondition from their employers. Now, let's go back to this issue of group life insurance, which is compulsory for those in the private sector, for those that have more than 5 employees. Now, you find that most employees are not even aware of the group life, which is their right. So when PENCOM, the DG came out to say, oh, if you find companies that are not complying with the law, you're free to report them. One will ordinarily feel that those who are concerned, who are employees in companies where their employers are not doing the needful, should be the ones that will call the attention of the authorities, because they are the ones that will benefit in the long run. But the question I want to ask, do you think that you guys, by that I mean you operators in the insurance space, have done enough awareness creation when it comes to not just the group life, but life insurance generally?
Well, thank you very much. I think that's a very good question. I would want to say, if I want to give a pass mark to the industry, maybe I'll just say we've done 60% advocacy. We need to do more. However, for me, I believe also in every company you have an head of HR. Is their responsibility to let the MD or the owner of each company they work in to know the importance of group life, because it's compulsory. And if I own a company, and let's just assume I'm not aware of group life, and if I flout the compliance status of the regulator, and my company is being made to pay, I think the HR person will have to either to pay back that money, because it's their responsibility. So I think this is a clarion call for all HCR, HR head or whatever. They should let that information go out to their companies, because it's their responsibility.
Okay, so as an industry, because I do know, I'm aware that even the HRO you talked about, I think they have an organization that represents their interests. So as an industry, what have you done to reach out to those in that particular sector whose responsibility or whose duties is to sensitize their employers about the compulsory group life insurance?
Okay, you want to take that?
Okay, so I think before now we have a group called the NIA, and the NIA is the Nigeria Insurers Association, and NIA has been able to reach out to a whole lot of other groups, particularly in terms of strategic alliances, to see how we can deepen the insurance awareness, not just awareness, both in terms of education, in terms of awareness, in terms of also subscription, to increase the customer base and also to get a whole lot of people on board. So NI has been able to do some of these things, also in terms of publicity. But at the same time, we believe that there still has to be some more work to be done. But like Steve earlier said, we've done about 60% of the whole work. We still have about 40% more to do.
Or more, 40% or more.
So it's important we pay attention to that 40% because we have a lot of people we've not included in the entire scheme of.
Okay, the Institute of Personnel Management, we've had interface with them in one or two occasions, but there are some other strategic things which I will not want to discuss now, for us to engage them effectively and to let them know their responsibility. We are discussing one or two of their members presently because that's how we can galvanize and get a quantum leap and a buy-in, and to enable them know that it's compulsory and they'll be doing the employees good if they do that.
Okay, now you talked a little bit about part of the reason why it does appear that people are not easily open to the concept of insurance in Nigeria. Now, you talk about no settlement of claims, or people believe erroneously that insurance, when there is a claim, they won't settle. Now, during the course of the pandemic, we saw there were fear, especially among those in the health sector. But my question is, should death occur for someone who is in the health sector, was there guaranteed that those life insurance policies that were rushed, that they bought for them, would their families would have gotten compensation?
Affirmative, yeah, sure. And what we even did, not just death, there were also some other flavors that were given. So there were some addition, maybe sickness or whatever, because we also found out that within that period, some people may not even have money to go to hospital. So we added some riders, some flavors, just like some freebies, you understand, at no cost, to ensure that value is given for money within that period. And I want to also use this to let people know that, yes, but insurance companies, we are doing much more better now. The regulator is also breathing on us, so no insurance company will dare to say that they are holding people's claim. So I think this is the right time for people to come in, buy insurance products. There should be no fear at all. Most of the insurance companies, presently now, we are going on another round of recapitalization. Yeah. And why is that coming in? Is to give us much more buffer, to give us much financial bite, and to enable us to galvanize as it were. Nigeria has a population of 200 million, right? We have the capacity to have everyone on board.
All right, welcome back. Moving on, we now bring you highlights of the Naicom seminar for insurance and financial journalists that took place at Ibom Hotel and Golf Resort in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. The seminar, which coincided with the Independence celebration, is a constant on the Commission's annual calendar. Happy viewing.
The National Insurance Commission, Naicom, recently put together its annual seminar for insurance and pension correspondents and financial reporters from Lagos and Abuja at the Ibom Hotel and Resort, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. The quarterly seminar for journalists is a constant on the Commission's annual calendar. In his brief remarks at the opening dinner, which coincided with the nation's independence celebration, the Commissioner for Insurance, Mr. O.S. Thomas, said that the enforcement of the compulsory insurances requires the buy-in of state governors.
We recognize the fact that we cannot drive insurance, stay in Abuja, and looking only at Abuja, Lagos, and Port Harcourt. Each state of the Federation must have a buy-in to these compulsory covers. We have incepted engaging the governors of states as agency that will assist us to drive the enforcement of these compulsory covers. I believe that the penetration that we have been talking about over the years have a solution in the compulsory covers, that is the low-hanging fruit. When the people of Nigeria, who are known to be very enterprising, when they have a taste of gold insurance via compulsory covers, those covers that are not compulsory will not be difficult to get to them. This is part of the strategy that we have laid out.
The COVID-19 pandemic, no doubt, is reshaping the business landscape, and the National Insurance Commission is already rising to the new normal through digital transformation and market development initiatives for the insurance industry. Welcoming journalists to the seminar, the Deputy Commissioner for Insurance Technical, Alhaji Sabiu Bello Abubakar, said that the Commission sees insurance correspondents as stakeholders in their ongoing transformation project.
You know, if you have a strategic project and you have not involved stakeholders, actually there will be problem. That is why we take it important to present our major reform activities to you for your input and comments, as well as questions for further explanations. Thank God, in our midst, we have top management who are the brain behind the project. They are ready to explain in details the project we are actually currently handling and the progress on the ongoing one. So I welcome you once again and pray that we are going to have a very fruitful discussions.
The first paper presentation of the seminar focused on the digital transaction of the Commission's processes and procedures. Speaker was Mr. Biodun Aribike, Head of IT. The second paper session looked at market development initiatives of the Commission and the role of the media. Speaker was Mr. Adeyemi Abubakar, Assistant Director, Market Development, while the third paper presentation looked at insurance development in Nigeria, the financial inclusion option. Speaker was Mr. Suberu Sulaiman Darazo, Special Assistant to the DCT. The high point of the Naicom seminar is an interactive session which affords journalists the opportunity to ask salient questions on some of the papers presented.
On enforcement of compulsory insurances, I would like to know what the Commission has done to get it right this time, because I know that the problem with that is enforcement. And enforcement is not for the Commission to do, it's the law enforcement agencies. I was expecting you would tell us how much of commitment you've gotten from them to begin to enforce these policies. And lastly, on the financial inclusion, I know there was a target of achieving financial inclusion vision 2020. We're in 2020. I would like to know if Nigeria has achieved financial inclusion and whatever role that the insurance industry have played, if you could just bring us to speed as to what you have done in that regard.
How much penetration the insurance sector has achieved. The target seems a bit ambitious, 40% from 1% in 2010. Secondly, what strategy do you have to drive this micro insurance? Because the last presenter said so far we have just 4 micro insurance companies and 4 takaful, insurance companies. What is the strategy for driving this? And the volume is also very low so far. So what's your strategy?
Responding to some of the questions raised, Mr. Darazo said that sensitization and advocacy is still a major challenge to insurance penetration.
On the issue of strategy for increasing penetration on financial inclusion, as I have said in the presentation, one of the major challenges we have in both takaful and microinsurance is the issue of consumer sensitization. A lot of people don't even know the existence of these operators and what have you. So going forward, looking at what we have in stores for 2011, there are a lot of stakeholder engagement, public sensitization workshops, coupled with the market development initiative and what have you. So I believe we are on the right track. By 2011, a lot of things will change.
There is no doubt that the digital transformation of the National Insurance Commission will revolutionize the insurance industry, as technology will help streamline the insurance value chain and enhance the efficiency of administrative processes, which will ultimately boost awareness and demand for insurance solutions that will translate into higher insurance penetration in the country, given the size of our population.
Alright, that's our time on the program this week. Many thanks for being a part of it. Join us again, same time, same station next week for a fresh package. In the meantime, feel free as always to connect with us on all our social media platforms. Now, if you miss any part of today's episode, you can watch it on our YouTube channel, Almond Finance TV. Don't forget to tune in to our flagship radio program, Waiting Insurance They Do Safe, every Wednesday live on Niger FM 102.7 at 9:45 a.m. courtesy of the Complaints Bureau Unit of Naicom. My name is Lucy Lugbe, and until next time, from the entire team, it's goodbye. Please stay safe.